Okay, so if your job involves a lot of rejection, I'm talking sales, entrepreneurship, even creative fields, you know just how much hearing the word no can sting. But what if the problem isn't the rejection itself? What if it's just how we're thinking about it? Let's dive into a really powerful mindset shift called the Gumball Method. This one idea right here, it can be an absolute game changer. It's a mental model that completely reframes your entire job. It turns that frustrating, draining task of trying to convince people into a simple, almost stress-free process of just sorting. All right, first things first. To really get why this method works so well, we gotta understand the core problem, that deep psychological pain that comes with constant rejection.
I mean, why does hearing no feel like such a personal blow? A lot of us have been there, and the answer, it usually comes down to one really common, really destructive habit we have, tying our own self-worth to the outcome of every single interaction.
Yeah, they call it the ego trap. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We get stuck because our ego just, it doesn't want to get bruised. So we tie our personal value to getting a yes, which means every single no feels like a direct personal hit. And this quote from Dan Martell just nails it. The real danger isn't the no, not at all. The real enemy is the paralysis that comes from fearing it. Staying put might feel safe in the moment, but it's a guarantee you'll never find the opportunities you're actually looking for. So, what's the solution? What do you do about this? Well, it all starts by completely resetting your expectations. And we're going to use a simple but super powerful metaphor for it, the gumball machine. I want you to just picture a giant gumball machine, and it is packed almost entirely full of red gumballs, but hidden inside are just a few blue ones. Now here's the key. Your job isn't to change the red gumballs into blue ones. That's impossible. Your job is just to crank the handle until a blue one comes out. And listen, this isn't just some nice idea. The actual numbers back this up. On average, only about 10% of prospecting conversations ever lead to a real opportunity. Think about that. That means you should fully expect 9 out of every 10 people to be a red gumball. They're not a fit, and that is perfectly 100% okay. So the most crucial point is this. Stop trying to force a fit. Stop wasting all your energy trying to convince people who just aren't interested. Your one and only job is to efficiently sort through all the no's to find those natural yeses. So now you've got the mindset, which is huge. But how do you actually sort through people without them immediately putting up a wall? Well, you use a technique called reverse selling. A traditional pitch, hey, we have a great product for you, it immediately puts people on the defensive. They see you as someone trying to get something from them. But reverse selling completely disarms them because you start by assuming they're probably not a fit. By acknowledging the interruption, by asking for permission, you flip the entire dynamic. You make the other person feel like they're in control because you're assuming they're a red gumball. So what happens? If they are a blue gumball, they'll be the one to correct you and tell you they're interested. They actually end up selling themselves to you. Okay, to make this sorting mindset really stick, to make it sustainable, there is one last piece to the puzzle. You have to fundamentally change how you measure your own success. Let's be real. We can't control outcomes like deals closed, but we can absolutely control our actions. Success shouldn't be tied to results you can't control. It should be tied to the activities you complete. So the win for the day isn't hitting your sales quota, it's hitting your conversation goal. And to make sure you actually get those controllable actions done efficiently, there's a classic productivity principle you can lean on, Parkinson's Law. So instead of giving yourself all day to prospect, you limit the time. Give yourself a strict, non-negotiable 90-minute block. I promise you will work with so much more intensity, and you'll get just as much, if not more, done than you would in 3 unfocused hours. Just think about how much you accomplished the day before a vacation. That right there, that's Parkinson's Law at work. So what's the big takeaway here? Detach your ego from the outcome. Become an expert sorter, not a master convincer. Focus only on the actions you can control. When you do that, you're going to find that success in a high-rejection field isn't just possible. It's a whole lot less stressful than you ever imagined it could be.